What's good, family? It's your boy, Demond, back in the building, man. I'm awake this time. I'm up. I'm energized. I'm ready. Last night, oh, my camera smudge. Guys, let me talk to y'all real quick, man. Let me wipe my camera off. Let me talk to y'all real quick, man. Bruh. How did we lose that game last night, man? How did we lose that game last night? Listen, I came up here the other night and I said we better than the Miami Heat talent wise. Uh, I could argue we better than three out of the five positions. I give them Butler and I give them Adebayo, but I think in the other three positions we're better than them talent wise at those positions. Last night we came out aggressive, hooping, shots was going in right. Now you know the NBA. We all know the NBA is it's a game full of runs. We know it's a game full of runs, right? And I'm not a delusional fan. Okay, what's good, family? Let me drop this link just in case anybody want to tap in this morning. I'm not gonna try to take up too much of y'all time, man. I'm not gonna take up too much of y'all time. But man, listen. Let me say this real quick. I was in a group chat, right? And I told them in the group chat, I said in the third quarter, I said, hey man, I'm going into the garage because I had a feeling we was going to trick this game off and I did not want to be super angry. And man, they did exactly what I thought they was going to do. Let's be real, man. If you're a Hawks fan, you've been a Hawks fan for a minute. Let's be honest. Are we the way this season been going, the way last year went, are we really surprised that we tricked off that game? Let's be honest here. Let's just be honest. No faking, no fraud. When we tricked off that game, were you really shocked that we tricked it off? Was you shocked, or you were just like a majority of us should have been like, same old shit, same Hawks basketball. So let's not be crazy here, man. But let me tell y'all something, man. I'm a realistic fan. And you know what? It's funny because I'll be on Twitter. I'll be on Twitter just talking cash shit half the time, man. I just be really trolling on Twitter half the time, man. Cause I know a lot of those fans I be going back and forth with. They seem like they some cool folk, man. But on Twitter, you can't really have a sports discussion on Twitter because you don't have, it's just not enough characters, and I ain't trying to do all this damn typing and shit. But I like to go up there and troll people. I see on Twitter, man. I saw on Twitter, man. It was a lot of a lot of people was on Dre Hunter, man. A lot of people on Twitter was on Dre Hunter. So I put a tweet up there. I said, "Oh, now y'all want to get on? Y'all turning on Dre Hunter." All these people come out talk about something. We've been talking about the players and Hunter and woo 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 woo. And I'm like, bruh, how long have we been saying Hunter has underachieved? How long have we said Hunter has underachieved up here? I know we have, some of us in New Pack City been said that. We were saying that last year. He can't dribble. He can't beat his man off the dribble to get to the basket consistently. We've been saying that stuff, man. But I mean, let's be honest here, man. A lot of people was putting majority of the blame of our disappointing seasons on Nate McMillan. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest here. And I can understand why people will be mad at Nate McMillan. But now with a new coach, right? What's good, my guy RJ?
What's happening, man? Hey, man, bro, I've been so pissed at the Hawks, man. I couldn't even get online and chop it up with y'all boys, man.
Hey, Brian,
like,
bro, you ain't.
Bro,
I will sleep half the show, man. I was in the garage, bro.
Yeah, man, I've been so pissed off. But I'm gonna tell you, man, I think one of the biggest problems we're having right now, though, man, the team is not correctly constructed right, man. We're not constructed right. for one of the things, and me and you been talking about this for a minute, man. An athletic five is something the Hawks desperately need. Somebody that can space the floor at the five position, man. And we need that desperately. And I do agree with you, man. We are definitely a better team than hell. We better than this damn Charlotte Hornets, but for some reason we can't beat them either. So but then the Hawks
That's
will go
facts,
out
man. I'm laughing, but that's facts, bro.
but then we'll go out and goddamn smack the Milwaukee Bucks right in the mouth, best team in the East. We'll go out without Trae Young and beat the Denver Nuggets. Somebody explain it to me, man. Somebody explain it to me. I just don't get it, man. It's like they rise up for the teams that you might say, they might struggle against that team, but they'll beat them. And then the teams you're like, yo, we should mop the floor with them. We dropped the
This
ball.
is my concern, RJ. This is my concern, right? And I said this on Twitter, and I actually was being serious. I wasn't even trolling. I said, Coach Quinn, I said he was an idiot to take this job, bro.
Yeah.
An idiot to take this position. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you my reason behind it. I ain't really get to say why on Twitter, but because one, we have the moves done by our front office have boxed us in.
Mm-hmm.
We have limited. So when I think about when people say, you know what, we got to do this to get better, and it involves players, I'm thinking to myself, how you plan on getting these players to let's say they saying Quinn is using this game, using the season to analyze, blah, 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 blah. Listen, we don't have assets to make a major move.
Not at all.
Let me say it like this. I don't want to say major move, but to get the fan base excited. You know, like they made the trade for Murray, we all got excited. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's not happening.
We don't have the assets to go out and get a legit star in the league.
We don't.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to explain to people is this: the best way. Well, I'm gonna tell you first of all, if I was Quinn, I wouldn't have took this position. I wouldn't have took this job. And I see what Mike's saying. I see what you're saying, Mike. But I'm talking about like if from a career standpoint, not putting the city in it, not my wife. I'm talking about just looking at it from a pure coaching stand. It's plenty. It probably been a couple jobs that have been better than take this position because we are really stuck. You just gave Hunter a contract extension.
Yeah.
John on big money that you can't get off of. Trade $200 million.
Yeah.
Bogey, word is Bogey's supposed to opt out, which I ain't even gonna lie. I mean, money wise, I hope he do, but hell, who gonna take his spot?
I'm gonna be honest though, he would be a fool to do that, man. Because
unless
$18 million on the table,
unless he want a longer contract, he may say.
Now that could be the case, but I just can't see him walking away from $18 million.
Yeah, instead of one for 18, he could say, you know what, I'll do a 2-year, $9 million deal or a 3-year, something like that. He probably want a longer contract because I'm sure Bogey not done playing in the NBA.
Right.
That's probably what it is. He probably just want to get some money, or maybe he see the writing on the wall. Maybe he see because Bogey 30, if I'm not mistaken,
right?
Or he close to it. Maybe he see the writing on the wall. Maybe he see, you know what? As I'm getting an older player, I'm turning to one of the older players. I don't really see this team competing for a championship. They may be
go somewhere where I can win.
Yeah, exactly. So he might leave. Right now, bro. I keep telling people, man, we in a tough position, and I think the best thing we can get right now, man, the best thing we can get is we gotta hope and pray that AJ Griffin and Jalen Johnson can improve and take a major step forward for next year.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't really see John Collins getting any better. I think the best we can get from him is Quinn comes up with a scheme that puts him in a position to where he can actually score the bucket at a high rate and not shoot all those threes. Unless, maybe John going the off season and, he putting up 200 threes a day and come back better. But I'm trying to find a way. And if you can tell me this, answer me this real quick, RJ. How can you see the Hawks getting better in the offseason? Salute to everybody in the chat, man, who here this morning.
I'm gonna be honest, man. There's only a few ways the Hawks can really get better, and it really depends on the players we already got on our roster. These boys got to go out here and really hit the pavement, man. And when I say hit the pavement, man, they need to work on some things, man. I know Mike talks about it all the time with basketball IQ. They got to do a better job of understanding how their game is flowing in the flow of the game. So, for example, if I'm Trae Young and I realize, hey, man, my shot's not falling tonight, but I got my mans over here knocking them down, I need to make sure I'm funneling the offense towards him. And when you're and then on the defensive side of the ball, man, we got to stop committing so many dumb penalties, man. And a lot of those penalties don't really be penalties. That's just basketball, but we have a bad habit of just committing wrong penalties at the wrong time. I go back to the play where Bogey stepped in front of the guy, and we were like, bro, he didn't even have to make that play. You know what I'm saying? And he caused the dude to shoot free three throws, and he won the game. So, that type of stuff, that's just basketball IQ, basketball knowledge we really need to work on. But I will say this, man. Dre Hunter, I heard you mention it earlier. Bro, we playing this dude like a starter, and I'm going to be honest, man, he's a backup. I truly, hey, man, listen, you cannot have oh my gosh, man, your small forward is out here. You got a point guard that's not even 6 foot, averaging more rebounds than your small forward, man. That is unheard of. That should not be going on.
Man, listen, man. But this is what I'm saying. The problem is this. It seems like the front office is behind on shit. So
yeah,
it's good that fans noticing Hunter, but it's too late.
It's too late. He's already been paid.
Contract extension.
Yeah.
How you gonna get off that? How you gonna trade him, bruh?
Yeah.
And that's what I be trying to explain to fans. You not moving. The only way you're gonna move Collins, the only way you're gonna move Dre, right, is you gonna take a L on that trade.
You're gonna have to.
You're not gonna get back what you think you're gonna get back for him. That's why, bro. That's why Collins is still here. That's why the worst thing that one of the worst things Tony Russell did, if true, according to the article, was nix the trade that Travis had set up to move Collins for Harrison Barnes in the first round pick. Now you can't even give. Well, basically, if you want to trade Collins,
you gotta have to give him away. Yeah.
Same thing for Dre.
Yeah,
Dre,
you may be lucky.
I was in Facebook. I was in New Pack City, RJ, and I kept saying, "Do not re-sign Hunter. Make him play out the contract."
I agree with that,
and let him go. And let him test free agency and see what the market say. If the market say a price that you like, then you match whatever offer. But
it's the same thing the Suns did with Ayton. They were just like, "Hey, man, look."
Yeah, they just let the market. They said we're not gonna give you max money,
right?
But once they saw, Indiana give him max money, it said, "Oh no, we need to go keep this guy."
Exactly. Even though he had beef with his head coach, they still went and paid him because they understood what he was worth on the market.
And that's what I tell people when I say we should have made an offer for 8. They like he weak. I'm like, man, you better go get this guy, man.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Look,
I will say that
they say he quit on the Suns, and the Suns still gave max money.
Exactly, because they know talent. It's talent, man. Talent, Trump, especially in the NBA, talent would trump all. Like even Trae, for example, got a bad attitude problem, but you can't replace 26 points, 10 to 12 assists. You can't replace that.
You know what? Last night, bro, I ain't even mad at Trae Young last night, man.
Yeah.
I'm not even mad at Trae Young. Even though he went on that attack and lost the ball, man. I wasn't even upset because right then I was like, sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah.
I thought Trae Young played very well last night. I didn't really look at his shooting numbers.
Yeah.
But I was just watching the game. I thought he played real under control. I mean, I think he had one shot I didn't like when he took that stupid step back 3 shit. But besides that, I thought he played played good last night.
And
man, again, I want to say the same thing I try to tell John. Let me say this real quick, RJ, because I'll forget my train of thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's the same thing like I be trying to tell John when we come up here. You have to play defense in the NBA.
You really do. You
You
really do,
can't
man.
come out. We ended up giving what to Miami? We ended up giving what 100, bro. You can't. Let me
Yeah.
look. I can't even remember the damn score of the game. Let me look real quick, man.
I
You
think we
cannot.
only lost by what, 3? Was it 3 or 2? Something like that. It wasn't a huge loss.
130. Well, remember, we lost by 2. That's because old buddy hit the last second 3 when it didn't matter.
That's right. Yeah,
But
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
you can't come out here and give up 130 points a night and
yeah,
think you're gonna win the game.
yeah,
Because guess what? Just like we started off the game hot, hey, you can get cold. That shooting
yeah,
will die. You're not shooting 70% for a whole game.
yeah,
And that's what I've been trying to tell John. We need to focus more on the when we playing defense and we got and I put that on Twitter. Active hands. The
hmm.
ball was boom. We was out there running, getting in transition.
You talking about being balanced. That's what.
130 points a night, man. And you
Yeah.
can't give up 130 points, bro. Not in the
The,
NBA.
the
Shit,
thing
not in no
is,
league.
and I remember y'all brought this up with John. All the top teams that are playoff contenders, they're in the top 10 as far as defense. They're in the top 10 as far as defense. You can't argue that. You cannot
Because
argue that.
your defense work twofold, man.
Right.
Your defense help you build leads, but your defense help you stay in the game
It
when
does.
because every team get cold during the game.
Yeah.
Your defense help keep that game close.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, RJ, 100,
Yeah.
bro, you can't give up 130 points and think you're gonna win the game, man.
Yeah, man. And I want to speak on this contract situation, man. The biggest thing I say about when it comes to players and contracts, when players have an up and down type of year, I'm the type of dude, you go into your contract year and you show me what you got before I can even think about giving you a contract. Because in my head, you don't show me consistency. So I'm gonna have to wait till the last year. And then, like you said, go out there into the market and test it. If the market says you're worthy of max money, I will pay you max money to come back and be on my team because I know you. But as far as that, we got to stop all this trying to get players signed early. If you got to pay them more money because they played well, you got to pay them more money because they played well. But at least you know what you're getting when you bring them back. But
And you
one thing,
also go ahead. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead,
yeah.
RJ. My bad.
But one thing, man, I do want to say, man, I want to see us one, man. This power forward position, man, is killing us right now, man. It is really killing us. JC, man, I don't know if it's just because I know some people say too they don't think JC can get his numbers because of Clint, because Clint can't really stretch the floor. But I think that's part of it. But a little bit of it too, JC is not selfish enough. I talked about this a few weeks ago. As a player, if you know, like take Murray for instance, Murray understands, hey man, my shot is in the paint, the short to long range twos, and when Murray gets the ball, he gets to his spot. JC has this mentality of just sometimes as an NBA player, you got to be selfish, man. When you get to your spot, you take your shot. Trae does it, Murray does it, and I don't see that with JC. And I don't think he can develop something like that. That's just something the man's just got to have in him.
I don't
And,
think he look as you know what? Maybe I'm just speculating here.
mm-hmm.
Maybe he don't JC don't look at himself as a scorer like that. You know what I'm
He said he
saying?
wanted to be Giannis. He said
He
he,
what?
yeah, that was
Oh,
an
in that
article.
interview. Oh, I thought he was
Yeah, he was like,
bullshitting.
yeah, man, I
He
want
was
them
for
to use
real?
me like they use Giannis. Like, bro, we'd like to use you like that, but you don't. You're not selfish enough. Giannis to go down there and take that shit. You know what
Well,
I'm
you know
saying?
what? Well, and shit, he can't even dribble better than Giannis. I mean, Giannis bring the
Exactly.
ball
That's
down.
another problem.
But what about I wonder why I would like to see Quinn try a small lineup, except when we go small and he put a Kongu at the 5.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see JC back at the 5. I just want to since we going small anyway with a
Yeah.
Kongu. I mean, put JC there. Let's see if we can get something out of JC. What I did notice
Mm-hmm.
last night was early in the game. Um, I seen the switches going on to where we was getting mismatches with JC
Yeah.
down in the lane, and it was finding him, and he was getting some easy buckets. We went away from that.
Yeah.
Um, but I think just on the defensive side of the ball, man, like we still not
We need a stopper, man. We
I
need
just
a
I just I just bro, I'm at a loss, man. I'm at a loss. Like
because I'm gonna tell you this, man. One of the things that I was talking about, because I was watching it with one of my boys, man, and he said, man, one of the biggest problems is we need somebody that can make a key defensive play in key situations. Have we ever seen, that's something that I think that's really missing from this team. Because even if we're not the best defense, if we can make key turnovers or a key block or a key defensive stop in key situations, that'd be something that could really help this team. But
it's just bro.
it's so hard though, man. Stuff like that is just so hard to find, man.
It's just so funny. I'm watching watching Miami come back, man, and I'm just watching Quinn Snyder take these timeouts, and I'm sitting there the whole time. And you know what I was thinking? I was like, bro, these timeouts ain't finna help, bro. They
Yeah,
ain't finna help. Just like I said when people was complaining about Nate not calling timeouts, the
yeah,
timeouts don't help. Look at it now. You get a coach who called timeouts, and you still getting the same
right.
result. The
Because
same result.
man, it's the
And the thing
same
about
players
Nate
on the
McMillan,
floor.
man, the
It's
thing
just
about Nate McMillan, this is what I say, man, about Nate McMillan. I don't think Nate McMillan really had the type of players he wanted here. But
no,
like I said, also said, I don't think Nate McMillan was a coach for this team. Nate McMillan, he a type of coach you go get when you done developing, you trying to win. He could get you to the playoffs, teach your dudes how
yeah,
to be professional. Then you probably had to upgrade from him to get to that championship level. I
right,
think we got Nate McMillan to coach us too early,
yeah,
right? And I say that, and JC, when he had his interview, he just validated what I was thinking, man. Like when JC said they could not accomplish what Nate McMillan, the standards that he set for them. He's like mentally, I'm like,
yeah,
damn, and on
yeah.
the court. That
That's a
to me, that said
telltale
a lot.
sign,
And I'm gonna
man.
tell you something. One thing about John Collins, he may be having a bad season,
Yeah,
but he always be keeping it real at those press conferences. He don't
he
never
do.
bullshit around now. He
Right,
not obviously he don't say shit, straight up. But when he said they could not meet the expectations that Nate McMillan set for them physically and mentally, let me know right there, okay, these guys not ready to compete
right,
for a championship, right?
yeah,
Now, what I really would have liked to know, what were the expectations? I would have loved to know that shit, because then you
yeah,
could really start breaking stuff down and analyzing what type of players we have on this team. But
right,
according to the random casual fan and sports pundit, we have the so-called superstar in Trae Young.
hmm,
He has a sidekick or number two, whatever you want to say, in DeJounte
right,
Murray. Okay. Um, we got a big in Clint Capella. We got, I mean, bro. I mean, what do we? I think, like you said, man, and like Mike said, maybe the key thing ingredients is just the basketball IQ, man.
hmm,
Maybe that's it. Cause I mean, when you look at the roster, man. Oh, and we missing
yeah,
a real veteran. Collins can't be the oldest dude on the team, man.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We need a real vet.
We need a Kyle Lowry type of presence,
Something.
A Rajon Rondo type of presence. But one of the things, man, that really bothers me right now with this team, man, is just that, and what makes them so frustrating is because I think as a fan, we see the talent, man. The talent is there. It's not because you remember back in the day when the Hawks would lose. Hey, man, we don't have nobody, man. The draft picks not really that good that we've been picking. The free agents are kind of bums everywhere else. So when you lose, it's kind of like, hey, man, it's one of them things. But see, now as a Hawks fan, I'm looking at this, right? Like, man, you got the point guard, you got the two, the team looks good. Why can't we just put all this stuff together, man? And it's really hard to figure out. But I do agree with you about one of the big problems is too, man. We need to start I don't, and not us as fans, but I think the coaching, because they're the ones that affect it. And I believe Quinn Snyder will do this. He's going to have to ask more. We need the coaching staff needs to ask more. For example, Hunter's goal needs to be at least 6 to 7 rebounds a game, at bare minimum. Hunter's goal needs. I mean,
this year, what for Hunter?
exactly.
And I don't think he's averaged. I don't think he averaged. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Hunter has even averaged 5 rebounds a
he
game.
has. He has it. He hadn't even. I don't even think he's averaged 4.
What's good, Mr. Gray?
What's going on, fellas?
Ain't nothing much,
What's
man.
going on?
Trying to figure out how we lost that game last night.
I know how we lost that game last night.
Lay it on us.
Huh?
Lay it on us.
I think it's kind of what Quinn said, man. If you kind of read between the lines, chemistry is an important thing in sports.
Right.
All right. Fit player, fit people knowing where their shots are going to come from, spacing. He kept talking about spacing the whole game. Like if you noticed, it was a time. You remember that they passed the ball up to DeAndre Hunter, and he tried to cut between 2 guys, and then he fumbled the ball, and they took it down and don't. That spacing, and then Quinn immediately called a timeout. And when they came out of the timeout, you notice Hunter wasn't in the game. It was Sadiq Bey.
Yeah.
The reason for that is because Quinn is trying to establish with these guys, listen, if I tell you something, if I tell you, hey, you need to be over here, you need to do that consistently. I shouldn't have to tell you all the time to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And what he's doing is he's disciplined players, right? But he's not like fussing them. But so basically what he'll do is if you mess up, I'm just going to take you out for a couple of plays so you can think about this. Yeah. That's what he's doing. If you notice this, it's like he'll call the timeout. He said, like, even the game before this game, right? He set Trae Young out for almost a long time. He was on the bench for a long time. And what he's doing is...
He did.
Say it again?
I said, you're right about that. He did. I wasn't really paying attention to it, but you are right about that because I remember that quarter because, matter of fact, I think he had set Trae down for almost a good 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It's because he wasn't doing what he wanted him to do. And
that the second unit was getting us back into the game.
Yeah, that is a fact.
Yeah. But see,
I'm gonna say this though, Mr. Gray.
Go ahead.
I see where you going.
Mm-hmm. No, I just think
But see, watch this. On this show, I've said it tons of times, man. Nate McMillan, and I bet you Quinn, it's in his contract somewhere. Nate McMillan did not have the power. You know what happened if Nate McMillan would have set a Trae Young for that long?
Oh yeah,
Bruh, they'd have been on it. And I'm gonna tell you, because Nate McMillan didn't have that authority to do stuff like that. Now I will say this: Quinn Snyder that's probably why Quinn Snyder. Remember what I said, Quinn Snyder? If you come here, you better make sure you got some power,
right,
to hold players accountable.
Yeah.
Now, since he has that power, okay. Now I'm not gonna say he had the power with Trae Young because in the interview, he said he spoke to Trae and said, "Hey, I'm just gonna ride out with these guys right now. I'll get you in later." Trae was like, "Hey, do what you got to do for us to win." So it ain't like he yoked Trae out for some bad play. I would say this: he took Trae, didn't come back in because the unit was rolling, which anybody with common sense could accept that. Be like, hey, yeah, coach, hey, they making it happen. We didn't make it happen. Go and lead them in because you saw what happened as soon as he put Trae back in. We tricked off the game.
Yeah,
but I think, but see, I think it's bigger than that, though, man. I think it's.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just basically what I'm saying is I'm agreeing with your point. With Quinn Snyder. I was just pointing out that the difference between Quinn and Nate is Nate didn't have that authority.
Right.
He didn't have that authority to say, hey, I'm gonna take this guy out of the game.
I think
Yeah.
the difference, though. I think the difference too, though, is you have to realize. I think this is what a lot of fans fail to realize too, right? When Nate came in, Trae was having two of the best years of his career, so he didn't really have to do that to Trae. It was more of at that moment when Trae was doing what he was doing. It was more of, hey, I just need you to play more under control. It wasn't really that he was playing bad. It was more like, hey, guy, get the other guys more involved. Do this, do that. You get what I'm trying to say? It
But
wasn't that he was, huh?
and let me add to that, Mr. Gray. Let me add to that. Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. See, RJ, see, I quickly lose my point. That's why I be talking so much because I forget. I just knew
Hey,
what I
man,
was
you
gonna say.
good? You good?
I forgot that fast, man. Say what you said again, Mr. Gray. Repeat what you said.
So I think it's so Trae wasn't having he was having two of his best years of his career. You know what I'm saying? When Nate took over. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't
Well,
losing.
he didn't you know that year Nate took over, the year went to the finals.
Mhm.
He wasn't even an all-star that year.
Yeah, but statistically, he was shooting some of the best that he shot. It didn't matter that he wasn't an all-star. It was the trajectory of his play. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I agree with that.
So he was having statistically some of the best years of his career. I think this year was so I don't even I just think that if you look at Trae right, and he's shooting, and I think a lot of people fail to realize that people are human, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he just had the baby. He just got married. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of changes going on in that man's life. He's getting blamed for this. He's getting blamed for that. You know what I'm saying? And he had to change, kind of, change the dynamic of the way he played coming into the season. I just think that he's just having one of those years, man. Like the confidence that Trae plays with, it just hasn't been there this whole season, right?
Well, you know what, Mr. Gray?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I agree about the being human part, but bruh, when you the face of a franchise, when you sign that max money contract, hey, you got to commit to the organization. You got to commit to the fans. Now listen,
Hey,
all
you know what?
superstars live lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody. I don't feel bad for Trae taking the heat because the heat he take, like, that ain't shit compared to an NFL quarterback. Them dudes get blamed for everything.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
I'm gonna tell you this about Trae and our stars, though. I want to make this perfect. I live here in Atlanta, John. I remember you talked about this a while back. How you said how stars would really embrace themselves in the city. You talk about how neat would be at the YMCA with the fans and on the and just in and it made fans feel like excited about their players. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Trae Young don't do nothing here. When I say he don't do nothing here.
Was that you who said that last time? Somebody else said that.
And I'm telling you, man.
You think that's a big issue? Because somebody else was that you or somebody said?
I think it was. I think it might have been Mike. I think it might have been Mike because I know Mike lives here too. But one thing I want to say too, man, is something to be said when you don't embrace your fan base. I don't really think Trae does a good job of embracing the fan base, man. I really don't, because he's not, if you look at it during all, and hey, man, don't get me wrong, you can do whatever you want to do on your off season, man, on your off time. But he's usually in Oklahoma or he's usually out in California. He doesn't really do a lot of training here with a lot of his teammates. And I want to bring this back to chemistry. You can't create chemistry if you got everybody doing their own separate thing, man.
And you know what? That reminds me of the time. You know what Mike said? Mike said, Clifton said, but I'm gonna tell you something else. Mike pointed that out too, except he didn't say it like that. He said, y'all remember when Mike said that remember they played a game and everybody had on a headband?
Yeah.
And Mike pointed that out. And at first I was like, does that really make a big difference? You're right.
It does when the whole team's supposed to be doing it.
Then I thought about it and I'm like, shit like that probably does matter. Talk to me,
But
John. What's your thoughts on stuff like that?
Team, there is no I in team.
that is
You
correct.
heard that. You heard that so many times, and I was unaware of what RJ was saying about the fact that he made me think. Now, if this is the team that's paying you $200 million, you supposed to be here in the city, going around, whatever. I mean, if you had done this from the start, maybe some of the vitriol and hate and criticism wouldn't be as tough as it is when you're messing up. Because see, the thing is, you are separate and you have kept yourself separate from your community. Because see, a lot of being a star on a star team is relating to the people in the city. You be on the south side, be on the north side, be at the farmers market, be at the movies, something
Play
of
a
that nature.
pickup game. Play a pickup game with some folks, man.
Yeah, now John Collins.
I was just getting ready to say it.
Yeah, because see, the advertisements that you see on Valley Sports South about is it healthcare Atlanta?
Share care.
It's always John. It's always
John Collins. It's John
That's
Collins.
weird.
And RJ, you made me think about that because see, it's John Collins.
See, now y'all got me thinking. You know what else?
Yeah.
Is it me or like somebody else said this the other night? Was it the other night? Because I thought this for a minute. John Collins it might have been Clifton again. John Collins does all like the spokesman stuff for the Hawks.
He does.
And I'm gonna tell you this, being from Atlanta, bro, you will see John Collins around the city, man. He's at the local gyms playing pickup games with fans. He's out there doing the work, man. And I think that's we talk about the trade value and all that type of stuff. There's something to be said when it comes to money. JC, he really be out here in the city, man. He really does. Murray just got here, so you don't really see him as much. But I can tell you, JC lives here. He got a few homes out here, and you can see JC around the city. He really ingratiates himself.
So let me ask y'all this. Mr. Gray, you in Atlanta, Mr. Gray?
No, not no more. Not no more.
So RJ, I know RJ and John in Atlanta. I know Mike in Atlanta. I think my boy Radzi in Atlanta. As a fan that lives in Atlanta, and Trae not being involved like that, do y'all really think that has a play on the team? You think that has a play on the fan base? Maybe that's why people don't want John Collins to get traded so bad.
Yeah. I'll be honest. JC be out here, man. I'm talking about, and I'm not saying he out here kissing babies and all that.
Yeah,
stuff,
I know. I feel you.
But he's out here, and I will say this: the reason why it hurts the team is because there's no chemistry. And imagine if they had something in Atlanta and it was JC and Trae doing things together. If it was JC, Murray, and Trae Young doing things together, that creates that chemistry. I think you need to be a better team. And we talked about it. How often do we look at the game and guys just look so out of place sometimes? There's no chemistry, man. Guys are literally
chemistry is a big thing, bro.
They doing their own thing, man. I've seen situations. There was I don't know if y'all remember when we traded for Murray and Trae had called him. Trae said, "Hey man, come on out here to LA."
Yep.
Murray
I was
said,
just about to bring it up.
I'm out here in Atlanta. You come to Atlanta. He didn't have to call JC. JC was already here. Trying to link up with him. So that's why I say,
oh, yep, you're exactly correct.
I'm telling you, man. Trae really has to work on that, man, because he is not in this city, bro. When this season ends, and again, it's nothing. I'm not saying he has to be here, but what I'm saying is, if you want to create a championship mindset, if you want to create a championship team, chemistry is at the top of my list, and it should be on top of everybody's list. We don't have no team chemistry. We got players over here doing their thing. We got a guy down here doing this thing. Stuff like that, man, I'm telling you, is a big part of it. Because I'm going to tell you, John, you remember this. My grandfather used to tell me all the time, He said, man, every other day he could go to the YMCA and play pick up basketball with Dominique Wilkins.
Mhm.
My grandfather would tell me this all the time.
Yep.
Well,
Even when
Yep.
Spud Webb was here, he would talk about that. He even talked about
Yep.
what's my guy's name? Josh Smith, who's from the
Yep.
city of
Josh
Atlanta. Josh Smith
stayed in
actually
the
had
city.
a camp here. Josh
Yep.
Hey,
Smith,
didn't
all the time.
even when Dwight played with Orlando, he still ran camps in Atlanta, didn't he?
Dwight
Yep.
Howard was still here even when he was doing things in Orlando. So I say that to say about Trae, man, if Trae wants to be a champion, he needs to swallow some of that pride. Come to the city, one, embrace the fans, and two, embrace his teammates. Let's be for real, man. There was only one time I've seen Trae actually work out with his teammates, and that was actually the year we went to the not conference finals, was it conference finals?
Yeah.
That was the year we went to the conference final. He was working out with Kevin Herter, Clint Capella. I think Bogey was there.
They had good chemistry that year.
Yeah, and they had great chemistry that year. Matter of fact, they were all working out in San Bernardino out there in California. All of them. The only ones I don't think JC, because Hunter kind of does his own thing too, and that explains why Hunter don't have a lot of chemistry either. But I say that to say, man.
One more thing. Let me ask you this real quick before you finish. What about because Mike made a good point. I don't want to use Dwight and Josh because they from there. So obviously,
right.
What about Joe Johnson? Did he put on camps there?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Joe Johnson was here. Matter of fact, Joe Johnson had a boys and girls camp he used to run here. Joe Johnson had a boy and girls camp he used to run here because and he also did something down in Texas too, but he did a lot of stuff here as well, man. Because for all intents and purposes, man, not to play the Atlanta is a very black city. So when black stars come out and they're showing love like that, you get a lot of support. And this is just real talk. This is just coming from somebody who's seen it and who's been down here. And I'm telling you, man, that's something that's really missing from this team, man. Because we keep trying to put our hands on it. I think chemistry is a big problem, man.
What's your thoughts on
the
that,
headbands was a small thing. The headbands was a small thing, but we can see like that might be something we need to really think about, man. I don't really think Trae really embraces his teammates, man. And that's the problem.
Well, if you're now see, and while y'all talking, I was thinking about every star that's been in the league that has won championships or just become beloved by those teams. They had houses in the city.
Mm-hmm.
They had friends in the city. They ran camps in the city. They were in that city, like Charles Barkley with Philadelphia. Moses Malone, he left Houston and went to Philadelphia. They embraced him. Dr. J, Patrick Ewing, all of those people claimed those folks as their own. And this was in the, I guess you could call the infancy of free agency, where you wouldn't be going from team to team to team all over the place. But the thing is that if you did go to that team, you bought a house there. You became a part of the community.
Trae don't even live here, bro. He doesn't even live here. Trae don't even have a house.
His wife and kids not in Atlanta?
Bro, his wife and kids are in Oklahoma. They fly to the games from Oklahoma to come to the games. Trae don't got his pops don't even live here. Trae's pops don't live here. That's why, like, Mike Bell and all that. And I'm not caping for Mike Bell. I do not like Mike Bell. They always talk about how they try to get Trae Young to come on the stations and talk with him and stuff like that. Trae Young declines every time, bro. He don't even go on the stations or nothing. Trae's pops don't even live here, bro.
He ain't been on no Atlanta. Has he been on any of the?
No, Trae
now those interviews. Now, see, that's why I made a point about the interview that he had. You remember when the man was standing right beside him on his right and kept
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes, right? Sir.
And see, I was, the first thing I noticed about it was that he never eyed the man up.
Mm-hmm.
See, and one thing, a lot of people have this problem. A lot of people have this problem where you're so nervous, you're trying not to say this or you're trying not to say that. Then you're trying to give an interview without a whole bunch of cussing and speaking and all that and trying to sound intelligent, that you're concentrating on what you're saying and can't give the man no eye contact when he's talking to you, And it was a situation where Trae, the man was asking him some hard questions. you was asking him some hard questions, and Trae said, "Hey, you coming at me, ain't you, bro? You coming at me, you know?" But
Yeah.
but the thing is that when you're in a situation like you're in, you're losing, you're just wavering around the 500 mark, and things like last night were taking place, and stuff like that has been happening the whole year. All those rumors about Nate McMillan and you and Landry Fields and all this type of stuff going on. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, and some people are not built to do
and on
that.
top of that, John, he hasn't embraced anybody in the Atlanta media. Like I said, man, y'all looking at me like y'all surprised. I'm telling you, bro, Trae don't even live here. When Trae's here,
I did not know that.
Yes,
I didn't know
Trae does not live in Atlanta, man.
I knew. I didn't think his mom and dad, because I know I wouldn't uproot my family and move if my son was in the league.
Yeah, because his brother goes to school and all that out there.
So I can understand them not being in Atlanta, but
Trae don't even live here. Him and his wife live in Oklahoma. They got a big mansion out there in Oklahoma, man. Trae don't even live here, bro.
I wondered, and I'm just I'm on some psychology shit right now. I wonder, does Trae not having at least his wife and kids, like, to go home to after a bad day, a bad game?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When I said what I said, I was dead serious about that, bro. I was dead serious about that. When I tell you,
Mr. Gray, you know what, Mr. Gray? See, when you said that, I didn't know he didn't live in Atlanta. I mean, excuse me. I didn't know his wife, girl, whatever she is. I didn't know his family wasn't there with him. So I didn't know that, because I'm like,
anytime
you go home to his wife every night.
This is a fact, man. Anytime, because I got friends that work at the airport, man. Anytime you see his wife or his kid at the game, they have flown in from Oklahoma. Anytime you see his dad at the game, they have flown in from Oklahoma. He, and I saw one guy had posted he has a house out in California. He only goes to that house when he's working out for the season. When he starts getting ready to work out for the season, his family will leave Oklahoma, go to California. That's where he does a lot of his workouts and stuff.
So wait. So in the off season, his family will fly with him to LA. But during the season, his wife or whatever she is and kids and
in Oklahoma.
Exactly.
You
see how messed up that is?
I mean, listen, I'm not even gonna say
see, that's the thing,
bro. I'm trying to justify and not say, like, but I mean, y'all.
There's no justification.
Y'all making some good points, man. Like,
there's no justification. Because see, look. Are you really ever home during the season?
Right.
Right. No, not really.
So see, thing is that you are you a hired gun. That's all you are. Have gun, will travel.
Yeah.
And your bed that you go to rest or whatever is not the I'm home. You don't have that. You don't have that. And see, you don't, and living like that, when you invite people over, now, okay, RJ, where is he staying? When he playing, where is he staying?
When Trae plays, there's a condo somewhere down in Atlanta that he had. I'm, not the specs or anything, but he does have a spot in Atlanta that he kind of stays in for the season. That's just for the season.
So he just,
if you don't have like for me, I would have to have at a minimum my wife with me, right? Because I mean, now you know what it feel like. It probably feel like, I can't say what he thinks, but in my opinion, it's like he playing. It's like he playing 82 road games.
That's basically
like he playing 82
the only game he's at home. Why do you think he plays so well when we go to Oklahoma? What's the team? The Thunder. He plays so well out there. Trae goes to his actual house that he lives in. He rests. He good. I'm telling you, man. Trae does not embrace this city, man. He doesn't embrace. I honestly don't even think he really likes the city like that. But which is fine. But my problem is you can't build a core team. For example, John, you had brought it up. How you gonna have guys come over and kick it with you and talk about the game when you ain't even really got no real place here? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna actually say, hey, bro, I think we could do better if we do this. Let's work on this together. How can you do that when John's in Atlanta, you in Oklahoma? Shit,
See,
but
Hey,
see,
so
see,
y'all, hey,
I don't
let me
see.
get y'all opinion. Let me get y'all
I'm not
opinion
going. Go ahead. Go
real
ahead.
quick. I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Gray. Knowing what we know now, obviously, knowing what we know now, do you think Trae a flight risk?
I don't see that. I don't. I don't think there is a thing of him not liking the city though. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's got something to do with his family. You know what I'm saying? Some people, their wives run that particular part of their life.
Right.
They pops and they moms run that particular part of their lives. And if his wife said, I'm not moving from Oklahoma, then she ain't moving from Oklahoma.
Well, I'm gonna
And
tell
then
you
once she
right
had
now,
that
he
baby,
shouldn't marry no
then
NBA
once he had
player.
that baby, and I'm not trying to get all in this man life. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying sometimes it's like that. So you don't know his family life. If you
But I'm
don't know his family life, you know what I'm saying, and what
I
kind
do
of wife
agree.
she is to him, and
Right.
what her requirements are of him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't really speak on it. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? You don't
All
know.
I'm saying,
You don't know.
I do agree with you. I don't know, but what I will say is this: if we look at our team and say, "Hey, man, we got the talent," I think we all can agree we got the coach. What's the problem?
The problem is
One,
chemistry.
the problem is chemistry. Now, here's my thing, Mr. Gray. You can be in Oklahoma with your family and everything, but if you're going to do business with your teammates to create that chemistry, you got to make some time to say, hey, man, baby, I love you, but I got to go make this money.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. Listen,
Yeah.
I don't think nobody. I don't think it's a reason, right? It's a reason why every time you see a free agent come to a new team, they say, "I can't wait to get out into the city." That's the first thing that Murray said when he first got to the Hap Talks. I can't wait to start my camps here. I can't wait to do A, B, and C. I can't wait to put my hands on A, B, and C. It's a reason. That's not just PR talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
See
it
that?
is PR talk, but it's
Yeah.
not just PR talk. You
But
feel what I'm saying? You
again,
have to do those things.
yeah. But
And
I'm
you
telling you,
gotta, like
man,
you said,
yeah.
you gotta build that chemistry with the team. And that's what I think when like, y'all gotta pay attention to what Murray be saying too, because he be throwing gems. He said, man, I've never been in a situation like this before. When he says that, he means I shouldn't have to tell my other star players, I shouldn't have to, like, we're not running pickup games together in the off season. We're not doing this,
Right.
we're not doing that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, most players are used to that because that's what they do. Right? I guarantee you, any team that's making long runs in the season probably had a whole bunch of time where they said, hey, we just gonna take a trip somewhere, the whole team just by ourselves. We're gonna spend a lot of time with us. We're gonna bring the family. We're gonna eat dinner together. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. We're gonna learn each other kids. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying? You got to build that bond, right? Because now, right? I'm on the court. I see my boy over there. You my boy now. You just not some dude on the team. You my boy. I know your wife. I know your kids.
It's a different level.
So I'm gonna pass you the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you mess up, I'm mad at you, but it ain't like a sideways mad. It's more like, hey dog, you know we better than this type of thing. You get what I'm saying? Like,
it's
hey bro, you supposed to be
man.
over in the corner, man. Get over in the corner.
Yes,
so
sir.
If I'm helping, you know what I'm saying? If I make a turnover, I'm busting my butt to get back. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is part of it, man. All that stuff is part of it. And when I think this is what I was talking about earlier is, so if the team isn't doing it by themselves, right, then the coach has to do it kind of for them.
Yes.
Right? You got to start setting precedent. Like, hey, if you don't do what I asked you to do, I'm going to sit you down for a couple of minutes.
But
if you don't do A, B, and C,
how does that help? How does that help our chemistry, though?
I think it doesn't help the chemistry. What it does do, though, is as a leader of the team, since I don't have the the old heads on the team to do this for me, then I got to do it myself. I gotta set the standard. I gotta set. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're going to do. This is not what I'm going to take. If I say A, B, and C, if you don't do it, it's going to be consequences. So now, if the players aren't holding each other responsible because they aren't, then the coach got to start holding folks responsible. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start from somewhere. And eventually,
I want to bring this up real quick.
That's what I was saying about Nate McMillan. I said Nate McMillan, he didn't have the power to hold him accountable. But you know what's so funny?
Go ahead.
It's hilarious that we talking about this because, like Mike had brought up, that's the
and I want to say,
he took a private. Remember, he took a private
jet. But I want to say this real quick.
It didn't fly with the team.
Y'all know why Capella's able to get them lobs like he does, and him and Trae got that chemistry. Those two work out together at the same time in LA. Period. Capella is probably the only guy I think that because Capella also has a place out there in LA. So during the training, him and Trae get together. That's why their chemistry is always so good on the floor.
You know what else, RJ popped in my head? You know, if I'm Trae's dad or I'm one of his trusted friends, you know what I'm telling him this all season? He need to do like them NFL quarterbacks do when they go to a new team and they got that money. They fly all their receivers and sometimes the linemen down to wherever, Florida. I'm in Matt Ryan a couple times.
He got the money to do it. Got the money to do it.
Well, if I'm Trae, I fly all them boys out to LA and
give them a place to stay.
Yeah, that big ass house he got, they could probably lamp in his crib. But
but I'm gonna tell you
out there, LA. Go ahead, John.
I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Is Trae Young married?
He is married. He's married.
He didn't marry her yet, did he?
Yeah, they had a wedding.
Okay.
I don't even think he invited any of his teammates, if I'm being honest.
Bro, don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
Hey, wait. Look it up.
I'm trying.
Hey, we're not gonna get personal, dog. Don't get personal, dog.
No. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
He's married.
I do remember him posting like wedding pictures.
If we gonna examine this thing, we gonna examine all of it.
No, man, I'm not. I don't, because you don't know for a fact. You don't know for a fact.
Look,
you got to speak facts.
Now, I didn't ask for that reason. I asked that. Did they have the child before they got married?
She was pregnant when they got married.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, they saying he engaged, not married.
Oh, he's engaged. Okay.
The man, he hooked up because he want somebody with that type of money gets engaged. Suits start. Breach of promise suits start. Craziness start. But this is the thing. I was alluding to something that both you, RJ, and Mr. Gray were talking about. Tom Brady, 6th-round draft pick.
That's a good one.
6th-round draft pick. He wasn't projected to be nothing. But that man worked his way to where he is now, to where he is considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time because he worked. Plus the fact this man sacrificed all of these things that everybody else is doing, family, friends, things of that sort, in order to get as good as he is. Okay.
I said that
now, like you guys were saying. Okay, well, he married now. He got a child. He got responsibility. He got other things. He can't concentrate the way that a Tom Brady can concentrate on honing his craft, especially if you don't have roots where your team is. You don't even look. You got a condo. It might be a 1-bedroom condo, just a spot to stay. A luxury place to just throw your stuff in, go take a shower, and go hit the bed. But it ain't home because you know up here and in here that home is in Oklahoma. Okay? Because see, this is my generation. Where the husband goes, the wife goes. And there is no negotiation and no doggone talking about, well, I don't want to float off.
John.
Because this is where the money coming from.
John, to piggyback off of that, Vanessa Bryant said something to that similar effect. She said Kobe would be. She said she was at home raising them kids. Man, Kobe would be gone, bro. Kobe would be gone from 5 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon some days. But Kobe said, "Hey, man, this is my craft. I'm going to be great at it." That comes with sacrifice. That comes with saying, "Hey, bro, if I want to be great," and I'm not saying every player has to do that. You get yours how you get yours.
But you know
I'm
what?
saying,
You know what, RJ?
You don't think that man doing that though?
I know I was
we don't see it on the court.
but I'm gonna tell you like this.
You don't see what on the court?
What?
What I'm saying is, when I say I don't see it, I say I don't see the team chemistry with our players, man. That's what
you
I'm
talking
saying.
about? Yeah. I'm thinking talking about
I'm not talking
individual
about
work.
talent, because the talent is there for Trae. But I'm saying, if we want our team to get to the next level, man, building some good chemistry will help us get to that next level, because the talent is there. There's no chemistry there. Even when dudes are on the bench. Have y'all noticed when dudes on the bench, certain dudes only talk to each other? They don't even talk to everybody else on the bench. Certain dudes, like for example, I see Trae and DeJounte talk, but I think DeJounte just has that kind of personality where everybody comes to him. But John don't talk to Trae on the bench. John will dap him up, but John ain't talking to Trae on the bench. You know who John be talking to? He be talking to Clint. He'll talk to I'm telling you.
Hey, I'm gonna be the Hawks come play the Spurs, right?
Yeah, watch him.
I'm gonna be at that. Listen, you know me. I got my seats right behind the Hawk bench.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye on that because I didn't notice that. But let me get Foot, because I know Foot you in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
I don't know if you was tracking what we were saying earlier about Trae really not embracing the city of Atlanta, right? As far as trying to build chemistry and all that.
With the city or the team?
Explain to RJ. RJ and John and Mr. Gray can explain it better.
Okay. So when I say he's not embracing the city, what I say is he's not he doesn't really embrace the fan base here, number one. Number two, he does not embrace his teammates, because a lot of his teammates actually do live here. A lot of his teammates literally do actually live here. And so when I say that could help, what can help this team grow and be better is us having team chemistry, especially with our star player. And I'm not saying you got to like each other. I want to be perfectly clear. I'm not saying we got to like each other. But if there's a respect factor and we can play together, that can elevate the team. That's what I'm saying.
And plus the fact he don't live here.
He does not live here.
Trae Young doesn't live here. And see, I'm gonna say this too. There is a certain amount of light that you got to have for your teammate. Just a certain amount. You ain't got to love them. Right. Y'all ain't got to be all in each other's face all the time, like that old crazy Isaiah Magic Johnson mess that went on in the 80s, where they were kissing each other on the cheek before the jump ball. No, we ain't got to have that.
Right.
But y'all, you got to kind of like each other to work with each other, so you're not holding no grudges and stuff like that. That's what
you gotta respect each other. You gotta respect each other.
Yeah, respect.
Right. Yeah. Now, and something else that you guys were talking about as far as the coach is concerned. See,
hey, let me chime in on that.
Go ahead. And real quick, but let me add on to that. Because I know you're a coach. After you respond to RJ, respond to my question, which is, how important is chemistry amongst your players? Okay. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. You can hit RJ first.
If you remember what I said last night.
I don't remember that for last night.
No, I think you probably got on the phone with your wife.
Yeah, they told me what happened with you last night. I couldn't get in.
If this team doesn't have any chemistry, at all, right? You can see it. You can see Trae and DeJounte doing something. Trae does have a little with John and CC a little bit, but as a whole, this team doesn't have chemistry, right? Mm-hmm. Just by the way, they keep doing different things at different times, not recognizing what each other's doing and in the moment in the games, right? So that's chemistry. That's not selfishness. That's just lack of chemistry, right? As far as him not having the real roots here. Yeah, he has a condo, but he goes back to Oklahoma every summer. Could that be a problem? It's not a good. Let me just say it's not a good look as far as being the face of the franchise. Let me just say that, right? If you're gonna, because you got how many months off in the summer? Not many, right?
Maybe 4, maybe 3.
Yeah,
and half of that you're probably training.
Yeah, and I know he got a gym back in Oklahoma, a little AAU team or what have you, but yeah, I think you need to be around each other a little bit more, right? As a squad, right? Like I said, you ain't gotta like each other, but I do think there's respect. I can see respect on the team for each other, or what have you. But the chemistry is just, I don't think they built the relationships that need to be established, in order to be a winner as a team, right?
It sounds fixable, though.
Huh?
It sounds like that can be fixed, man.
No, it can be fixed, right?
It can.
It can be fixed. That's simple. Decision
But
has
it's
to be made.
it's gonna be a steeper hill to climb now than it would have been had
That's
you
Ricky.
set roots here. Because now something else that we were talking about. We were talking about the fan base's view of Trae Young, because we were talking about the fact that Dominique Wilkins and Mike Glenn that I played with personally, Spud and all of those people. Spud used to get haircuts down in my dad's barbershop when he was growing. He was a Hawks player. But the thing is,
because he stopped growing.
Yeah. he cut. Dad cut a couple of inches.
I was about to say when he was growing up, I was like, he just stopped growing.
Yeah. But the thing is that they were connected to the community.
Yes.
So the criticism that we would have of certain things that happen or whatever, but mind you, Mike Fratello had an iron fist on that team. He had them jokers clamped versus a Nate McMillan who, okay, y'all supposed to be grown, y'all supposed to know what it is y'all supposed to do. Let's go do it. And nobody really was hanging foot in ass about the things that they weren't doing.
And you know what, that goes back, like I said earlier before you came on, that goes back to what John Collins said. He said Nate McMillan, these his words. He said he felt Nate McMillan held him to a standard that they couldn't achieve mentally and physically. Like to me, that says a lot. That says that really says that Nate McMillan is really a coach for a veteran team, a team that's probably already making the playoffs, maybe not a championship team, but where I think Foot said it, where you don't have to spoon feed players. You can give them instructions and you just really just watch them.
And
you may be making minor adjustments, but you're not saying, hey, come here, guy. Hey, I need you to do A, B, C, D. You're not doing it. Why you not doing it?
And I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. Me and John, we're in the football group, Atlanta Bird Gang. Let me tell y'all something.
Oh, I'm in there.
Let me tell y'all something.
I'm in there too.
Them Falcons. Hey, let me tell you something. When people get drafted to the Falcons, they in the city. Like you see them, you can see Falcons players all over. They buy their houses here, and even when they move, still got a crib here. So I'm telling you, man, when you don't embrace your fan base, one, you're gonna alienate yourself from the fan base. Okay, that's fine. Fans are fans, but you also alienate yourself from your teammates. And when you alienate yourself from your teammates,
RJ, correct me if I'm wrong. RJ, correct me if I'm wrong. It seemed like to me now, I'm just basing off the stuff I be seeing on Twitter.
Right.
It seemed like the fans love Trae. So,
well, here's the thing, Demond. You always say it. Those are young fans.
Yes.
They probably 25, 23. This is their first time really seeing the Hawks really do anything.
Okay.
I'm 32. I started watching the Hawks back in 2000, man. When I was like 10 years old, I was there during some hard times for the Hawks. And if y'all 40s and 50s, y'all was there for some real hard times. So
you should been seeing them games for free,
bro. I remember.
Oh, I was.
Listen, my grandfather.
For free.
Let me tell you, man, my grandfather would call 92.9 the game and get free tickets to Hawks games.
Yeah.
That's how bad they were. That's how bad they were. So I'm telling you, though, So for a lot of those fans, they say they love Trae Young. Yeah, I get that because he's putting up points and he's balling. No doubt. I love Trae Young. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. How can we get to the next level when your star player treats everybody on the team as less than? And I'm not saying that's a fact, but it appears that way when you separate yourself from your teammates.
That's a big statement right there. What you think about that comment, Mr. Gray? I know you want to say something on that one.
Nah, that's I again, it's speculation, but basically what you're saying, but if it's true, then that's a damning
That's
Hey, man. Gray, I'm here to tell you, man. I'm here to tell you, man. If you're in the city, man, I'm telling you, John got a place down in College Park where he be coaching up kids, man, playing the game of basketball.
No, I was talking about him treating his teammates less than.
Well, see,
the reason why I say that, I'm gonna say I hope that's not the case. That's what I'm saying.
The reason why I say that is you get on a plane, you get on a jet, and you fly out different from your other teammates. It's just some of the actions. It just
listen, man. Listen. We know star players that do that.
We do.
Let's not act like Trae Young is the only person that's flying the games or driving Ferraris and everybody else on the team bus and they riding behind the team bus.
Yeah, but
let's not act like.
But Mr. Gray, are they the face of the franchise?
And plus, Trae got fined for that. Trae got fined for that.
He did.
I'm saying, just because somebody is doing these things, don't mean they're treating their teammates as less than. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
I think that's
not one instance. But there are a lot of things that you can look at on the court and here, just like we're talking right now, that add up to a feeling where why he and why they
Okay. I'm gonna give you a prime example. I'm gonna give you a prime example.
I'm gonna say this real quick. If Trae Young, listen, if we was a champ, if we won a championship,
you do what you
want. I
don't
care what Trae Young did. I don't care if he took a private plane to practice.
Right.
If we was winning. So I think a lot of the stuff when you lose, now I don't want to say losing. I mean, we are I think we under 500.
All the account. I get what you're saying.
But hey man, and to the person, I see the person in the comments say we don't get on Hunter and Collins. We've been getting on Hunter. We've been getting on.
We're not talking about performance right now.
We're not talking about performance.
We've been getting on all of them.
We're talking about chemistry.
We've been getting on all of them.
I think we have been ripping Collins and Hunter.
So Gray. Let me. We're gonna go Gray, John, and Foot. How do we? First, this is a two-part question for everybody. Mm-hmm. One, is the season salvageable? Meaning, can we make the playoffs? That's all we can pretty much hope for. Is the season salvageable? And two, how does Trae and Coach Quinn solve this chemistry issue? Because, we cannot start the season still having issues like this, because my fear is, like I've been telling y'all, we still got to convince Murray to stay here.
Yeah.
We still got to convince him to stay here.
Big part in that.
So I don't care what order y'all go in. Y'all remember what I asked? Y'all remember?
Yeah.
I forgot.
I'm going to speak on this first, man. Quinn can fix the chemistry situation. And I know this might sound kind of foreign. I'm used to this, playing ball and stuff like that. The coaches say, hey, man, listen, I'm setting up a practice schedule. Y'all need to be here or you're getting fined. And we are going to work together. He can fix that. The coach could fix that chemistry problem. I don't know if he'll do it or not, but he could.
He can't do that in the offseason, though.
No, he wouldn't be able to do it in the offseason. That takes time.
So that's what I'm saying. So like, when would he do that? Is what I'm asking. What you just said. When would he do that? Because they need to fix this in the offseason.
Yeah. The
So
best
when will he
thing,
do what you just said, the
yeah,
finding and stuff? When will he do that?
the best thing is to try to plant these seeds right now while we're in the season.
But but I'm saying,
If
like,
you can,
when will he find them and say you gonna practice this time doing, like, when will he be able to do that? Because during the
Mr. Gray
regular season,
talk about
I'm
the off
assuming he
season.
is doing it.
okay,
Mr. Gray talk about the off season, RJ.
all season, okay. That at the end of the day, I'm not a coach in the NBA, so I don't really know what the practice schedules are like during the NBA off time. But I'll say this: if the coach can find a way to bring these guys together, at least maybe half of these guys together, not all, because not all is going to show up, but if he can do half, I think that can help develop a lot of chemistry within the team.
I don't
But
think
You got the
according to the
CBA to deal with.
according to the
yeah,
Yep,
CBA,
exactly.
according to the CBA, he can't I don't
Can do
think
none of that.
he do nothing in the off season.
well,
That's got to
It's
be
gotta be on
Murray.
the
That's got
players.
to
it's
be
got to be the
Murray.
players then.
That's
It's
why
got to be the
boys got
players.
to put it together.
RJ, that's why you see, like in NFL, that's why you
Yeah.
see the quarterback do it. He do it on his own.
Right. The
Come out
quarterback
his
can
own
have like
pocket.
a
Yeah, he slide
absolutely.
everybody
So,
to I remember Matt Ryan used to do it all the time, especially if we get a
yeah,
new
so let me
receiver.
rephrase it.
Oh boy.
If you can't do it, if you can't do it with if you can't do it with Trae, you
Matt
might have to ask Murray if he could do it. Hey Murray, I see you got some respect. I said, can you see if you can get some of you guys together here in the city and y'all work together, man? Try to build some team chemistry. And I think by doing that, man, because this chemistry thing is real, man. It is real. I don't care what nobody say, but I will say this:
We got a new coach, man. He's still coaching.
is the season salvageable? If we're talking about making the playoffs, I think they can make the playoffs. I really do. I think they can make the playoffs. It's just a matter of what we're going to do when we get there. So those are my thoughts
What's
on
your
that.
thought, Foot?
Great, agree with next. Go.
No, you go ahead. Go for it. Go ahead, for it.
So, is it salvageable? We're a 500 team.
I think we're below 500 now, ain't we?
Right?
Yeah,
No,
we
we're not
know.
500.
Well,
We're not
I'm
even
just
five.
saying. I'm just saying, right? Anything other than make to the second round playoff is at this point is a failure.
Hey man, Foot be coming with that reality check, don't he?
Yeah.
Hey man, we under 500, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I've been saying it all year. We
Yeah,
are
you
who
have.
we
You've
are.
been consistent.
We are
Yeah.
our record, right?
Yeah.
So with that part, right? So I don't have any confidence in it right now. I would love for it to happen, but can they do it? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
These boys are too young and immature, right? As far as fixing the chemistry, well, hold on. Let me go back to this why I meant to mention before I forget again. As far as Trae Young, right? Trae Young is not the issue, right? He does need to mature. He needs to start being more of a leader. That much I definitely will say. And be like you said, as far as from Atlanta standpoint, he need to put up some roots in Atlanta and be part of the city. Do more things in the city, right? That's how you get all the fans off of you, right? And show that you're in, right? Hey, I can't tell a man what he do, a grown ass man, but I think that would help tremendously, right? As far as the relationship they have, I don't know what type of relationship the team have, but what I do see on the floor, he root for his teammates. He's happy for his teammates. I don't think there's like this big dust up in the locker room between his teammates. They might not hang out together, right? A lot, but I think there's respect in there,
right?
As a standpoint. Now, Quinn can't fix chemistry.
No,
you know the coach can't fix no chemistry. The chemistry has to happen organically between the players, and sometimes certain players don't fit with each other as far as from a team standpoint. That's why I keep saying we're gonna need some wholesale moves this year. This is the same core. We getting the same results.
Yeah.
Oh, no, less of a result. Now we got, and I think we have better talent. I keep talking about them damn vets.
Yeah.
We need to get one or two solid vets in that damn locker room. There's no leader on this team. Trae might be the face of the franchise, and a lot of people say he should be the leader because of money, man. I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. Leadership ain't based off what you make. Leadership is earned. right?
Mhm.
Not saying he's a bad player or whatever, but you can't automatically anoint the highest paid or the face of the franchise as the leader. He might not have those leadership qualities. What are you, 24, 25 now, whatever?
Yeah, 24, 25, one of them.
One thing I mentioned this year, I hadn't coached young kids like this year in a long time. I had to just, right? I had to just, like, dude, like, really, come on. You know, normally I'm coaching older kids. And so we need some help down there in the organization for that. So I took it. And it's actually fun. But you literally have to baby those dudes, right? You have to baby them. I call them new breeds. This generation is totally different. You have to spoon fed these dudes. I mean, that's just real talk. Other coach like, come on,
Yeah.
Foot, man. You already know.
You sound kind of like John Collins up there, Foot.
Hey, well, his comment, you know, I think.
Hey, Foot, there you go, Foot. There you go. Read that comment.
Exactly, right?
There you go.
John Collins looks to be more of the leader on his team. Looks,
He definitely the spokesperson.
Yeah, definitely the spokesperson, right? But there's some kind of disconnect in that locker room.
Yeah,
I think he's the glue guy. He might be the glue guy, but I don't think he's the leader.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying here. I said looks.
Yeah.
You know what I really think? I think
more
John Collins.
mature person in that room, that locker room.
I think John Collins is like the leader, like in the locker room, not on the floor, but like I think everybody. John Collins, he has one of those personalities where people is attracted to him.
Everybody likes him.
He seemed like he's easy to talk to. He seemed like he actually, if you talk to him, he actually give a fuck. He'll listen and give you a real thought out response. So I think a lot of the younger players, I think Murray the same way. I mean, I have noticed how it seemed like Jalen Johnson has gravitated more with Murray. I mean, every time I see them on the court together, I see Murray encouraging him. Not saying Trae don't.
Right.
Not saying Trae don't. I'm just telling you what I see. I haven't seen Trae. Trae could be doing a whole bunch of shit behind the scenes or on the court with the camera not on him. You feel me? But I'm talking about what I see. I see DeJounte encouraging Jalen Johnson. He was doing that since he got here. Yeah. But John, how did it chemistry is definitely a issue. How do we fix it?
Like I said, you know, ain't no sense of closing the barn door because the horse already gone. You know,
we already flew out, huh?
Yeah, the horse already gone. Ain't no sense of locking the barn though, because see, you know, now Trae Young has been here 5 years. Okay. What has been going on has been allowed to go on for that time. And you know, to you guys' point about a leader. Now, do you guys remember the Larry Brown Detroit Pistons team that won the championship?
Yeah.
Who was the leader on that team?
Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey.
You sure?
No, I thought it was Big Ben.
No, Chauncey was the leader. They even said it. They said Chauncey was the leader of the Pistons.
If you look at what he was doing, you know.
Because you know what? You know, Chauncey wanted the leading scorer. He was just the point guard. He just ran the team, man. He was the vet at the time. He was solid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Now, because see, now me and Mr. Gray, we were thinking it was Ben Wallace because of the demeanor that Ben Wallace was, and that, you know, it was just something about Ben
on
Wallace.
the floor.
Okay, go ahead. Let's run with your narrative. Go ahead. Let's see where you're going with it.
It's not. I was going to say it's not always, just like you guys were saying, it's not always the leading scorer or the most paid person. It's the person that you don't want to get on the wrong side of, because he gonna bring it. He don't care nothing about how much money you making. He don't care nothing about how many girls you dating or anything of that nature. It's the team. What's best for the team? And in that vein, see, thing is that, you know, right now, as far as building chemistry, I really don't know at this stage of the season, with the off season coming on, what it is that can be done unless you got to have it in here to want to be better. And
That's
the
a
coach,
fact.
and the coach is see, you got to have that want to.
Yeah.
You got to have that want to. And that's okay. The fans can bring that. The fans can bring that, but as far as acting on it and doing something about it, that's still gonna be you. It's still gonna be you. And just like Foot said, hey, you may need to change the team up in order to get some guys in here that got that want to.
Yeah.
Got to have that want to.
Mr. Gray, there go a question for you right there. Hold on, let me ask him this real quick, John. I come right
okay.
back to you. Mr. Gray, what's answer that? You got a response for that right there?
That's the problem. I think it probably would be Murray, right? But he's trying not to step on Trae Young's toes. So I'm gonna say this. In the press conference, Coach Quinn said, and that's his name? Quinn?
Quinn,
Yeah, Quinn.
Yeah.
Quinn Snyder. Yeah.
Quinn Snyder.
He said the Jonte is the vocal leader of the team, and Trae Young is like an actions leader. And so I think what's going to happen, right, is if DeJounte, that's the reason DeJounte was brought to this team. He's kind of the adult in the room. He's the adult in the room. All right. And so I think if he can get Trae, I think Trae has good work ethic. That's what I was saying. I don't believe that Trae has bad work ethic off the court. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Yeah.
I think he has excellent work ethic off the court.
You can't
But
score
the problem
26.
is he just doesn't work enough with the team. So I think that Dante will get Trae to work better with to practice with the team, in the off season, and then everybody else can start coexisting inside of that. You know what I'm saying? So he'll be the guy. You know what I'm saying? And John Collins, like I was saying, John Collins is the glue guy. John Collins is the guy that when everybody is pissed off, he goes around and gives everybody hugs, motivates them, get them back on their feet, get them back to feeling good, tell a couple of jokes, and then everybody back frenzy. That's the guy, John Collins.
You saying John Collins, he the politician of the team.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He walk around kissing babies.
If John Collins, see everybody acted crazy, right? But if John Collins wasn't on this team, the Hawks will fall apart.
What's good, YQ? It's been a minute, my guy.
What's going on?
What's up, man? Hey, why we lose that game last night, G?
Man, I ain't even gonna lie, I ain't even really get I just seen the highlights. From what I seen, shit, it looked like we was up most of the game.
We was.
Yeah, but no doubt.
And then
we tricked it off.
The Hawks hawked it. We got I don't know, it more mental for it. It more mental for it. Cause like y'all said, we got all the talent. We just can't put it together.
Let me ask you this, 1000. You in Atlanta, right?
Okay. Right.
Do you fit? Hey, explain what you were saying, RJ.
Okay, hey, so basically one of my big points is, man, you know how when Atlanta gets stars, those stars really embrace our city when they come here. From Michael Vick to Matt Ryan, Spud Webb, Dominique Wilkins, and so on. They come here and they embrace the city. One of the big points I was bringing up was Trae never really embraced the city. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He come here, he play ball, but then he go back home to Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? John Collins is here. Like, I don't know if you know, but JC does things down there in College Park with youth organizations, and he really does a lot of stuff in the city with fans and things like that. But what I'm saying, but my bigger point is, if we got to build some chemistry, right? How can we build our chemistry if our star player does his thing in Oklahoma and California, and you got majority of the team here?
True. I feel like like you said, every year he got to fly out soon. The out season come, he go straight back home. Like when he took their private jet. So it'd be like, dang man, do you want to be here? You know what I mean? So I don't really think I don't know. I don't know. I've been hearing rumors like he want to go to the Lakers.
Because
I
he
mean,
does have,
Like,
you
he
know,
do got a big ass house in LA, but
he
then I'm like,
does. He
but then
does.
I don't weigh that much because I'm like, you know, if I was
Yeah, I
a
don't. Yeah,
millionaire, I would have a big ass house in
Yeah,
LA too.
most
Laker
NBA
trash.
superstars got
Right.
big houses in LA. My thing is though, chemistry, man, to me, man, our chemistry is really hurting right now, man. And the only way I can see us fixing it, if our players, not coach, because y'all right about the coach not being able to do it. The only way I can see us really fixing it if our players develop that mindset, hey fellas, let's get together on this such and such date and let's hold a workout. You ain't got to show up. We want you here though. You ain't got to be if you don't want to, but if you can, let's show up and work on some fadeaways together. Let's work on these jumpers together. Let's work on some rebounding together. And I think by doing stuff like that, the team, one, you become close as a unit. And when team, and just speaking from I'm not in the military, but Demond, you can speak to this from a military point of view. When you're working at it as a unit, things tend to work a lot better, correct?
Well, yeah, but it's like you said, but the biggest difference is this: as a sergeant first class, as a platoon sergeant, which I'm in charge of 40 soldiers, I can make them do shit.
Right.
So I can say, hey guys, so when we need to do some team, if I think we need team, we call it team building. If I think we need team building, I'll just say, hey, you will be here at this time. We'll call it mandatory fun. You will be here at this time so we can all get together and do whatever team building exercise. In civilian land, and especially with the pros or within any corporation, you know, they got rules like CBAs and stuff saying, hey, you cannot mess with these players from this time to this time. And I'm sure my football guys, y'all know that they can't do, so you can't put on pads until a certain time. You can't do certain drills, so it's hard for a coach to establish that. But it's like,
Well, hey,
go ahead, John.
I was just thinking about something.
Go ahead.
The coach can, to a certain extent, motivate or set these things up, and like okay, he pulled Murray and Trae to the side.
Yep.
Hey, you guys, this your team. Y'all need to get some work in during the off season. If y'all want this, y'all want to do this, y'all want this to be successful, y'all need to work together during the off season. See,
John,
I can't.
John, let's be real. You don't think Nate McMillan told him that? Well, not
Shoot, Nate
Murray, because
McMillan
obviously,
didn't even look. Hold up, Devon. Nate McMillan didn't even want to be in the same room with them because he was trying to quit the whole season now because he knew
so
that
what
he
that
was
tell
babysitting.
you, so what's that tell you about our players? So we got Lloyd Pierce. You got Lloyd Pierce who got fired. Word is him and Trae Young relationship was bad. Okay. Nate McMillan, and I believe the reports when it said he wanted to quit. I believe he want not due to. I think he wanted to quit due to once Travis left, he knew he had no power over any of his players. So, because he couldn't hold nobody, he couldn't hold nobody accountable. We seen numerous times where, bro, the day Trae blew him off with that timeout and went down there and shot that bullshit.
Oh yeah, that
And
wasn't
he
no
didn't
respect
take
from
Trae
that
out
locker.
the game. Right then, I knew I was like, Nate don't have no power on the team, man. He
Yeah.
has no power. So now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying Nate McMillan is not at fault at anything like that. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just pointing out events that's happened. So now with Coach Quinn, that's why I said Coach Quinn, in my opinion, he was a fool to take this job because now he's stuck. And I think now he's starting to see some shit. Like some of these players, let's be real, they don't need to be here. We can all agree that.
So okay, now following your line of reasoning,
Okay.
now, Quinn would not have accepted this job, and this is my impression. Just like you said earlier, he wouldn't have accepted this job unless he knew he had some power to be able to make some changes and do some things. And look here.
I can't see it. What is it?
What is that?
Boy, you a fool.
You a fool, bro.
Hey man, somebody tell me I'm lying.
Oh my days.
Somebody
man.
tell me I'm lying.
Nope.
Hey, but you know what though, man? I agree with all of y'all when y'all say, man, it's got to be something in that heart, man, for the players. It's got to be something in your heart. It's got to be in your being. If you want to be great, there's some things you're going to have to put. There's some things you're going to have to sacrifice, and some things you're going to have to put forth to be great.
Yeah,
Well, I said that last night, RJ.
Yeah,
I said because I'm more of a Kobe fan after he stopped playing ball. Because I like to watch his interviews.
right.
I like to watch how he think, his thoughts and stuff like that. And it's like he said, bro. He said, and Skip Bayless said it too. He said, in order for me to get to the level that he wanted to get to, basketball was his priority. He said, but his wife knew that. So that's why he never really had no issues with his wife. Like you see, like with a Tom Brady, how she want him to quit and shit. Skip Bayless even said it on his podcast. He said when he met his wife, he told her, he said, sports and what I do for a living is my priority. You will always be second. He said, I just want you to know that so you know what you're getting into. Right. And I think that's true. I think a lot of the players don't want to make that type of sacrifice to get to a level of a Michael Jordan, to get to a level of a Kobe. Now, to get to a level of LeBron, one of the few lucky guys who his wife been with him from day one, so she already knew what time it was. So that's why it's no issues with him and his wife. For him to make basketball the priority, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of those players come here. Getting to the NBA was a dream. Being able to live off basketball is a dream.
That's it.
I don't think their dream was I want to be the best. And I'm not hating them for that, because it's not everybody goes to be the best in what they doing, because what? Because the best come with a lot of sacrifice. You can even look at CEOs who start companies, Elon Musk, Mark Cuban. Sacrifices come with that to be a entrepreneur, to be a CEO, and to be successful. You don't get successful. You definitely don't get to the top of a field without sacrificing something. You're gonna sacrifice time. Might be some family members who don't understand the grind that you own, but I don't get that sense from now. I get that sense. And some players do attempt it and they just don't reach it. Matt Ryan, he tried all that stuff, bringing all the receivers in, but he didn't reach that pinnacle we wanted him to get to. Right.
That was the blind leading the blind on that.
But it's the fact. But you know what? You can say what you want about Matt Ryan. Let me tell you something, John. You can say what you want about Matt Ryan, right? But let me tell you something. The dude didn't miss games. The dude was consistent. And now look at us. Now we're still looking for a quarterback, right? Now I'm not saying he a Hall of Famer, and he took us to the Super Bowl. So I mean, at the end of the day, I would kill.
I get the point.
I would kill for Trae Young. I would kill for Trae Young.
Don't get John started.
I would kill for Trae Young to lead us. If he had the career of a Matt Ryan, making the playoffs, got us to the finals at least once, but we tricked it off or something, I could live with that. But right now, we paying all this money. We drafting high. Bro, let's be honest. We've done everything. We reset the team. Hunter's a number 4 pick, Trae 5 pick, Cam 10, Akonwu 6. We've been in the lottery. We've been top 10 picks. What else? You done drafted. You got Herter, John, late second round picks who turn into something. We on the 3rd coach. Bro,
something's got it. Yeah.
What haven't we already tried here? What haven't we tried?
And you know what? I think that goes back to Foot's comment, man. If it doesn't get right moving forward, the team will have to make wholesale changes.
Let me tell you what's going to happen, RJ. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Because Landry and Nick love Trae Young so much. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Trae Young gonna ask for a trade. I'm not saying now. I'm not saying now.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 years from now. But the front office, they don't think they're not forward thinkers. Okay. They scared to think ahead like I'm thinking ahead. I'm already thinking about DeJounte. Like Hawk said, if Murray don't play good, they're not gonna give him the max. That's bad for us, fool. Yeah. That's bad for us. That means we traded all that stuff, ain't gonna have nothing to show for it. We better give him something. We need to show him.
Murray getting the max. He getting the max.
We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. We can't afford for Murray to leave.
We gave up way too much for him.
We gave up too many assets.
Yeah.
So now we're
Murray's not going nowhere, man.
Go ahead, Mr. Gray. Go ahead.
Murray not going nowhere. I think Quinn. See, this is the reason I said I think this is one of the reasons Quinn came in this early. You get what I'm trying to say? Is so that he can learn the players. He can earn their trust. You already see it.
Yeah.
You talk to them boys, they listen.
Yeah.
This last night, even though that was a loss, right? That was the first time I seen this Hawks team play every second of the fourth quarter, and try to win the game. Like most of the time, if they got about 6 points and it's like 18 seconds left on the clock, they just let the other team dribble the ball out, and then they just give up, right? So you can already see that he's even changing the philosophy of the players. Like, hey, if it's time left on the clock, we're going to give ourselves a chance, an opportunity to win. Hey, you might hit a buzzer beater and win the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's already changing that philosophy. Go ahead.
Hey, Gray. Now let me say this, and look at it. When was the last time the Hawks got blowed out?
When did that game against God, what was that team? Didn't we get
it was a Siren team.
Didn't we get blown out to Charlotte? When did Charlotte?
No.
Was it?
It was like right before the break or something.
I was waiting on somebody to say that because everybody was acting like we got blowed out. That was a 144 to 138 game.
What game we talking about?
No. I was asking the last time the Hawks got blowed out by, and what I call a blowout, anything over 20 points.
Okay.
And when was the last time that took place?
Charlotte beat our ass.
No. That was only 6 points.
How much we lost to by the Knicks? Let me pull it.
Yeah,
now that was it. That was it.
When they
yeah. Okay.
That was the last game we got blowed out in was the Knicks.
Right.
And thing is about the Knicks game. Well, I won't deal with that game. But if you look back at our season,
no, deal with that game.
No, because it's not fitting my narrative. I'm not going to use that. I have a narrative I'm trying to.
Oh, you don't want to deal with that game, huh? Okay.
But to your point, Demond, that highlights something else. We too small. We weak. We can't handle Eastern Conference pressure with the Eastern Conference leaders because we just too small, or we are not playing. We are not playing the type of game that we need to play against them because we beat them before. We beat the Knicks before. Okay, we beat the Knicks before. But just like last night, y'all gonna let the referees just beat the team up and not call anything or whatever. I got a problem with that. But that was not my narrative. I'm trying to stay on 85. You trying to divert me off of 285 or whatever I would. But at any rate,
finish talking. I got something to say. Go ahead.
Okay. But see, this is the thing. This Hawks team is not that far away, and that's what makes it so frustrating. We not that far away. It may be a player. It may be a player or two that we can insert. And my desire is for 2 scoring bigs. Okay, that's my desire. 2 scoring bigs instead of just role players out there. All right, but we're not that far away. Last night. We didn't get blowed out last night. Our shooting percentage, and you can see it from quarter to quarter to quarter, our shooting percentage dropped every quarter. We were shooting 75% in the first quarter. Now I knew good and darn well we wasn't gonna stay at no 75%, But thing was, they were hitting shots, we weren't. They were playing physical, we weren't getting any calls. We withered, but we didn't get blowed out. We close, and that's the thing that just gets you. Sometimes I would rather get blowed out by 20 than to lose a game that you were leading all 3 quarters of the game, and then give it up in the last quarter. So we're not that far away. And that was a question that you asked me about us going to the playoffs. No, we ain't going. No.
1,000. You think we're gonna make the playoffs? 1,000?
Through the play-in.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It.
That's what I said. I said they'll make the play-in and then make the playoffs. That's what I said.
Guys, let me tell you something, man. It's hard. It's gonna take
it's
a
hard
miracle.
Being a Hawks fan.
It's a miracle
hard being a Hawks fan.
To get out of
the problem boils back down to this again. We've been talking about it the whole day. It's a chemistry thing. It's not a talent issue. It's a chemistry issue. So listen, when you play a game, everybody knows this. When you play a game, right, and I'm up on you, right, and if I could get it close, right, now it comes down to a possessions game, right? But what wins possessions games? Chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if I'm banking that if I go play for play with you, you're gonna mess up, and I'm not, because my chemistry with my people is better than your chemistry is with your people, and that's how the Hawks be losing these games late, because they have no chemistry. That's where the chemistry comes in. Talent got them the lead, right?
Yeah.
Talent kept them in the game. You know what I'm saying? Talent is if they showed a stat yesterday. They said that the Hawks were, after the All-Star break, they were like 5th in everything, stats wise.
Yeah,
so
offensively.
Yeah, offensively. So that's telling you that that's going points, right? So you know, in the beginning of the season, we couldn't even score that many points, right? So you can see the chemistry is starting to come, right? You can see it, right? As the year progresses, they're starting to get better and better on the offensive end. They're starting to get a little bit better. Now I see with Quinn on the defensive end. They just don't have enough time to get all the way there. So it's not, I'm telling you, everybody keep on saying we need one more this, we need one more that. Bro, if you're scoring 130 points a game, you don't need nobody else.
You need somebody to stop the other team from scoring.
Exactly. But
let me add this real quick.
That's everybody being where they're supposed to be. You get what I'm trying to say? Because you look across the league. Look, every game that I've seen on TV lately, right, has been coming down to buzzer beaters and last second shots. I seen the Celtics like in 5 games back to back that came down to overtime or last second shots. I seen the Knicks, same thing. I seen
when they played Miami.
The Bucks, I seen the Bucks, the same thing. I looked out at the at Sacramento Kings. They came back and beat the Clippers because of that. You get what I'm trying to say? These boys got chemistry. The Clippers don't have no chemistry. They got hella talent on their team. Hella talent.
That's a good
and
point.
still getting walked down. You get what I'm saying? So it's not, I'm telling you, it's not a talent thing. It's not that the Hawks need additional players. They don't have no chemistry. When they develop the chemistry, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Let me add this real quick. Part of the issue with that chemistry is the basketball IQ. Like because we tricking off these games, right? Look how we started that game yesterday, playing good, solid basketball. It looked like there was a lot of chemistry, right? Mm-hmm. Then we get up to here and start doing dumb shit, right? That's that more of that maturity come in at. If you don't realize how you win and how you lose, that's a freaking problem. Those dudes, if they see the film, they watch film. It's right there in black and white. So at some point, they need to make a damn decision to make better decisions.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen for it. Cause didn't
I know.
when we got blown out, didn't the report come out that Nate McMillan had a 75-minute film session?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I said. They have to
Yeah.
make a
Came right
damn
back out,
decision
and then
themselves.
we came out the next game and lost. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's because see, it's only one atoms different as far as chemistry goes. It's only one oxygen atoms difference between dynamite and dirt.
You crazy.
Where it'll blow up
He right.
and where it
He
won't.
right.
Hey,
Yeah.
John got more quotes than Shannon Sharp granddaddy, man.
Listen, I'm
But he
just
be
saying.
on it. He be
I'm
on it.
just saying. And Gray, you're absolutely right. You absolutely right about that chemistry. You absolutely right about that chemistry. But thing is, no one can name me a point total that will guarantee you a win, and no one can name me a point total that will guarantee you holding somebody that you will win also.
If you hold
You
an
got to
NBA
go
team,
out there
if you
and
hold an
you got
NBA team to 100 points, you'll win.
say what now?
You hold an NBA team in today's game to 100 points, you're gonna win 50 games.
That's
See, I don't know about that one.
There ain't nobody doing that no more.
Yeah, I
But
don't
that's
know
what I'm
about
saying.
that
Well,
one.
he just said
See,
name a number. I mean, what's the number one defensive rating team? I think they holding I think it's what, like 108?
Yeah, I think
I
that's what
think
Milwaukee, right?
It's
Ain't that
somewhere around there,
Milwaukee?
right? Like 108, the
yeah,
number one defensive team.
but
108 per that's their
see,
rating, 108.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what their rating is right now. Look back 20 years ago, it was even less than that. But see, it's continually going up.
Well, that's
It's
because they
continually
changed.
going up.
But John,
And
that's because they changing the rules because they know most of the casual fans. They like that. I mean, let's be real. No one really want to see a defensive contest.
no,
Right.
In no
no,
sport. I don't know. I can't name a
Yeah.
sport where you want to sit there and watch a defensive battle, right?
Not even in football.
They set the rules up so that the offense it favors the offense. I mean, that's why
right.
they take away rules like the hand checking. They just decided the
It's
NBA just went to a zone. What 4 or 5 years ago? It used to be legal. You couldn't play zone. You know what
and
I'm
the
saying?
thing is, just
Which
like
is crazy
baseball.
because now the NBA allow you to play zone, but the shooters are better. So now you
Yeah.
can just shoot over a zone if you want to these days
Right.
in today's NBA. So I mean, there is a standard you could set. If you told your team, hey, if we can hold teams to less than 110 points in today's NBA, bro, you gonna win. I guarantee you gonna win 60% of your games, bro. And you just have an average offensive night. It's the thing about the Hawks, John. And I'm gonna tell you like this: go look at all our losses. When we lose, we give up big numbers. Okay, we giving up 120, 125. Last night, 130. You cannot win giving up that many points.
That's
It's
fact.
impossible, man.
But this is the thing. What were we able to do to stop people from shooting at the 3-point line yesterday? Hands in their face.
But
You
they
know,
go back to what
Bam Adebayo, turnaround jump shot. You got the tallest man out there on the floor with his hand in his face. Scoop, still hitting the shot. See, this is the thing. There are some things that you can do on defense, like stealing the ball before they can get it, doing
Trapping.
whatever, and
But-
preventing scoring. But if you can't, you got a job to do when you get the ball. You got to take that ball back down the court and you got to score. Because see, the thing was, now like last night in the first quarter, when we were scoring and we were moving and playing defense, we were harassing them before they could even get the shot up. That's what we were doing. We were harassing them before they could even get the shot up.
And you know what, John?
They weren't
we stopped
consistent.
And you know what? I was watching the game, and that's what we was doing that. And that's what the coach even said. He said our defense, because they showed a clip of Quinn saying our defense helps our offense. But
Yes.
when you're giving up 130 points, your defense ain't defensing, if that's a word. Okay.
Oh, hey, I agree with you 100%. So if your defense ain't defensing, do you give up? Head back down the court and get you your 2 points back that they just got from you.
Well, guess what?
And it's a simple thing. Just
Hey,
like,
man.
because those of you with hair, lather, rinse, repeat. I don't have to do that. I don't have to worry about that no more.
Sometimes, bro, but John, and I'm gonna ask, and
Foot.
I'm gonna go to
You
Foot.
mute.
I-
You mute
Foot.
Foot.
I don't know, bro. We
So if you go
sometimes the
back,
ball go in the net, bro. Sometimes it don't. I mean, I just don't know how to. I can't word it no other way.
Okay,
Sometimes
well,
you get a
check
first
this
quarter
out,
like
though.
we had, bro, and then sometimes you get a second half like we had.
but
so that's my point on defense. That's my point on defense. Sometimes it go in, sometimes it don't. But you don't attribute that to defending. And a lot of times, what you'll see out there on the floor, the ball just ain't going in the net for them. Okay.
So you got to stop the other team from scoring. So you
No.
you don't get thrown
I
out.
just defend. I just said that.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
let me say this real quick. If you look at, we just talked about it. We lose close games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we lose those close games because we've had lead most of the game, we start doing dumb shit. Which,
That's that IQ.
if you moving the ball like it was in the first half, we got any shot we want.
Yeah.
Playing smart offense. What we start doing fourth quarter?
ISO.
Same dumb shit. So John is right. So guess what? And go back to when what's the name bust our ass. No matter what hand you had in his face, some dude just gonna hit and some dude just on.
Oh, you talking about Bradley Beal?
Yeah. So some stuff you can good defense, they still gonna score, right? Better offense. But again, we got to put the damn ball in the basket because we get in these lulls, and especially mid fourth quarter, we start getting these lulls where we doing dumb
You
shit.
go on a cold streak.
Yeah,
third
and not
quarter.
making the buckets. And
That
not
third quarter be killing
getting
us.
to the rack like we did the first part of the game. Everything was to the damn rack.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basic
Yeah.
ass
Oh,
basketball.
yeah. We
They
drive
even-
to the basket.
So stop shooting them damn jumpers and
They
get your
said it.
ass to the rack.
They even
Yeah.
said that, Foot. They said I was watching on League Pass watching on the Hawks stream, and Bob, I remember Bob even bringing it up. It was like midway through the first. He was like, "The Hawks have 17 points in the paint." I was like, "Whoa!" In the first quarter, and like you said, and then for some reason, we just
Hey,
go
we ended
go
up.
away from the shit that works, man. I don't know what
We
it
ended
is.
up with 70. We ended up with 70 points in the paint.
Damn, we got too many athletes not to be able to get to the rack.
Yeah.
We ended up with 70 points in the paint last night. To their, I think to their 56, if I'm not mistaken.
We got to stop going away from things that we're good at. Because I don't know if y'all have watched, when y'all watch the game, if you notice, we get away from things that we're good at. For example, there was a game where I think we were doing a lot of trapping. It was like, man, where's this been all day? Trap. Their best player. And then we get away from the trap. And then the dude stars, I can't remember what. I think that might have been the game against Washington, I think.
Bill.
We were trapping him early. And then we stopped doing it. We got away from it. And then he started killing us. So there's got to be something going on. I don't know, man. It is, and I think that's what makes the team so frustrating is when you watch them. There you go.
IQ, man. But the question, the $1 million question, well, it's $2 million questions now. How do you fix the basketball IQ of these players, and how do we fix the chemistry, man? That's gonna be something we're gonna have to do a show on that, man. But hey, I gotta wrap it up, guys.
All right.
Hey, I only thought this was gonna go an hour. We did a whole morning show, 2 hours. Hey, shout out to everybody who tapping in on the panel. Shout out to everybody who tapped in the chat, man. We appreciate the support, man. Hey, I ain't got no answers for y'all, man. Shit, that's why my ass was in that garage last night. Right. That's why I was.
Quinn is the answer.
Hey, hopefully.
Shit, don't get me started. That's a whole nother conversation.
Thanks for tapping in, family. I catch up with y'all, and I need to get my ass back to work before I be unemployed. Y'all stay up, man. Hawks up, baby. Peace.
All right.
All right.